So many things in life aren't easy, and you have to go through obstacles to face, glorious triumphs, to face what you want to do in life. It doesn't come easily. So my quote from Thomas Paine is, "The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph." And I do agree with this quote because it does relate to me in somehow. So my dad wasn't born here, he was born in Mexico. And he crossed over here when he was about 25, around that time. So undocumented, no job, not really a lot of family. But he's really good at working with cars. So he joined this car company to, paint cars, fix them, everything. Even though he was, kind of looked down upon, didn't make enough money, had to struggle through a lot of things, he kept going. And he's been working there for more than 10, 15 years. And now he's the manager of his own part where he paints the cars. And he has a body shop with one of my uncles. So, it was very difficult for him to try to learn English, try to move up the ranks in this auto shop. But he did go through it, and, his triumph is that he's making good money, and he's there to support me and my brother. So, the harder the conflict, it was difficult for him to learn English, and it is still now. And I really look up to him because, he does this, he's manager now, and it really helps me know that, I was born here, I can have more decisions in life, and to do better things so you can be proud of me. Well, yeah, there's a lot of conflicts that we all go through, and, sometimes in life when stuff happens, like when my grandma passed away, it was very difficult for me to continue going to school and stuff like that, but you always have to overcome, the conflicts and the problems in life to better yourself. Thank you.
Did you just put that back?
Yeah.
Please don't. Yeah, you keep those. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I thought the setup was okay. You had a pretty clear statement of your point of view. There's no real development of structure. You've got one good example that you're using, and I think that you've got some good detail in that example. There's probably a little bit more that you can do. You'll think of a story or two in the next few minutes and you say, why didn't I say that? That's inevitably what happens with people when they get into these situations. But the story that you had, I thought, worked pretty well for the point that you're trying to make. Without any additional setup, though, the speech feels a little bit brief. Your ending wasn't abrupt. It was relatively clear that we knew that you were done, but I do think you want to come back to the point that you're making a little bit more smoothly and clearly. The presentation issues, there's good variety in your voice. I didn't notice anything that was particularly problematic. Your audience contact is generally solid. There are a few indicators while you're speaking. Nothing that I think is a hindrance. There are, I think, things that you could do that would be a little bit more dynamic while you're speaking, a little bit more energy in your voice, for instance, and occasionally maybe some stepping forward or some gestures or some facial expressions that are more engaged and involved and forceful, but there wasn't anything that you did that was bad. All right, thank you.